Hey everybody, Rob Veno, WagerTalk.com, WagerTalk TV. Tuesday, April the 1st. We're going to go over the NBA here with you. Two plays, two selections. We're going to start with Philly at New York, and then we're going to move on to Phoenix and Milwaukee. But let's get right into it here. Eastern Conference, boy, oh boy. Philadelphia, New York Knicks. Knicks open 14, 223.5 games. Now bet down to 13 and 220. The game hasn't been bet down. The total hasn't gone down because folks are in love with the 76ers. It's because of the addition of Karl Anthony Towns to the injury list earlier here today. He's questionable at this point for Philadelphia, as has been the case for quite a while. Top seven in their rotation, all out. Kyle Lowry possibly comes back here. It's been out since February 9th. I don't know what difference that makes. Why not keep him out? For the Knicks, without their top 2 point guards, once again, Jalen Brunson out. He's missed the last 12. Campaign out. He's missed the last 2. Shooting guard Miles McBride. Deuce McBride, the number 2 shooting guard here. He's out with a groin injury. And, of course, as I just mentioned, Karl Anthony Towns potentially out in this game. Schedule-wise, really no need to even go over fatigue stuff because where Philly's concerned, I don't know that it matters, but they did have yesterday off. This is a solo road game, a bus ride up I-95 to Madison Square Garden. They come back home on Thursday. For the Knicks, they had yesterday off as well. It's the final game of a 2-game homestand, but it is the first of a back-to-back. The Knicks do go to Cleveland tomorrow, so it's the final game of a short homestand on the road tomorrow at Cleveland. You wonder if the interest level will be there. We shall see. I think that, scheduling-wise, it's just an even matchup here. But the matchup itself, not a lot to talk about here. We know the Sixers have been basically a G League team for a while now. They're playing deep reserves in this rotation. They're 3-18 straight up since the All-Star break. They're on an 0-7 ATS losing skid, and they've lost by at least 13 points in 5 of those 7. The kicker to that is in all those losses, they've only played one team with an above 500 record. So they're just getting trounced by the dregs of the NBA at this point in time. Their consistency has been in their full game totals. Believe it or not, you can make money with anybody in any sport. And with the Sixers, if you were leaning on the over the last 15 games, you're 12-3, 80%. That current 80% string, mostly attributed to Philadelphia's defense, which has allowed 118 plus in 15 of their last 17 games. And even the slowest paced team in the NBA, the Miami Heat, managed to put up 118 against Philly the other night. We cashed a ticket there with the Heat team total over. New York, meanwhile, on a decent little run here. They're 4-1 against the spread last 5 games. They've won 4 of their last 5 home games by double digits. So at home, as favorites, they've been pretty good as of late. OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, a lot of the reason why they've both been on offensive tears here. 30.5 points per game for Anunoby in his last 4. 23.8, almost 24 a game for Bridges over his last 5. Even if Karl Anthony Towns doesn't play in this game, there doesn't seem to be a matchup on the floor where the Sixers have an edge. I'd say this in the final look. The Knicks are a 13-point favorite for a reason. They should win. Nobody's going to dispute that. They're also in line with a win here to increase their lead or their hold on the number 3 seed in the East over Indiana to 4 games with only 7 to play. That would be a huge lead. So they figure to be somewhat focused here. And like a lot of other teams that are trying to put it into overdrive heading into their playoff runs. The question here with laying points for the Knicks would be how much do the starters play? Late third quarter, fourth quarter. Certainly with Cleveland on deck tomorrow, you wonder if you don't pull guys and give them some rest for the plane ride and in the game tomorrow. But it's Tom Thibodeau, and we know he likes to grind his starters, play them heavy minutes, so it's hard to really calculate what he'll do in this particular situation. I take a little creative look at this game. Philadelphia gave Quentin Grimes a day of rest the other day. He's been carrying their offensive load. He scored 22 or more in 6 of their last 7. He's taking over 19 shots a game. 9 of those are 3-pointers. He's been to the free throw line 7 times a game during his last 7. His point total tonight is only 20.5. Again, he's gone over that in 6 of his last 7. I think it's somewhat of a meaningless game. I mean, the Knicks want to win. I don't know if it's a game where they really exert themselves. I think Quentin Grimes over 20.5 as the lead option offensively for the Sixers is a good way to go. So that's the way we're going to play it. Free play for today in this game. Little creative. Quentin Grimes, point total over 20.5. Before we get on to our next game, let's go ahead and take a look at the WagerTalk special offers. Brand new one up on the board today. It is an NBA special offer. You can get the remainder of the regular season, and you can get all of the playoffs for just $195. Current price or regular price on that would be $265. So you're going to save $70 on this deal. Get every NBA playoff release for the remainder of the regular season. Get every playoff release. And remember, the finals don't even start till June 6th. So you're getting basically over 2 months worth of NBA action here for this price of $195. NBA's been good to me lately. Usually don't talk about it all that much when it goes good, but here we're 12-2-1 over the course of the last 15 plays. That's 86% winners. And if we go long term, date back to December 1st, the NBA has provided us with plus 38.2 units. So once again, special offer here, NBA regular season plus playoffs. Every play included, 5% blue chips, everything, just $195. Let's move on to Phoenix and Milwaukee. This one's interesting. Start with the injuries. Kevin Durant out for at least a week. He's going to be out. We'll see if it leads to being any more than 1 week. Bradley Beal, now questionable. He's missed the last 7 games with a hamstring injury. We'll see if he comes back here for Milwaukee. Of course, Damian Lillard out. The blood clot in his leg. He's missed the last 6 for the Bucks. It looks like Giannis is going to be a go. He shows up on the injury report as a game time decision every single day. This one, it looks like he's probable. Schedule-wise, Phoenix had yesterday off. They traveled from Phoenix to Milwaukee. It's the first of a 3-game road trip. It's a tough one for the Suns. They're going to go to Boston and New York after this. For Milwaukee, they had yesterday off. It's the final of a 3-game homestand. They've lost the first 2 here at home. After this, they go on the road for 3 starting Thursday. So I think there's a little bit of advantage here schedule-wise for the Bucks, who have stayed at home while Phoenix is traveling, even though they have a day off. Matchup and the situation for this one, of course, the biggest news is that Kevin Durant's out of this game. Without him, the power forward matchup becomes Giannis against Royce O'Neal. That's a monster mismatch in favor of the Bucks here. We'll see if they capitalize on it. I'm sure Giannis is going tonight because he sees what's in front of him and he can have a big night. The Suns could get Bradley Beal back. I don't know what his effectiveness would be. I don't know what his minutes limit would be, but I don't know how much of a factor Bradley Beal would be here in a positive way for the Phoenix Suns. Over the last 5 games, both of these teams are in the bottom tier where NBA defense is concerned. They've both been bad defensive teams over the course of the last 5 games. Milwaukee's starting backcourt is a little bit of an issue. Point guard Ryan Rollins, shooting guard Taurean Prince. The 2 of those guys combined since Damian Lillard has been out of the lineup, they've only scored 18 points per game. Lillard by himself averages more than that. So the backcourt for Milwaukee, not necessarily good. The largest edge for the Bucks here, you'd figure, would be their rebounding. Size advantage here, especially without Durant. Now, these teams just played 8 days ago, and Phoenix actually won the rebounding battle 52-36, which is kind of amazing when you have Giannis and Brook Lopez. But Phoenix with Durant did win the rebounding edge by 16 there. The strongest advantage I could find here was Milwaukee field goal percentage inside the paint. They're number 1 in the NBA over the course of the last 10 games. 65.2% on these 2-pointers. They don't use it a lot, or they haven't used it enough, I should say, but they should use it tonight because they're operating as a very small team. As I mentioned, these 2 just played 8 days ago. In that game, the front line of Milwaukee, the starting front line, did have 69 points. And Lopez and Giannis, 20 of 25, 80% from the floor in that game. I'd look for more of the same here tonight. Let's take a look and get a selection out of this game here. Milwaukee's a mess right now. Absolute mess, led by Doc Rivers. But Phoenix, they're even worse. They're a complete and total dumpster fire at this point in time. They've played themselves out of the play-in spot in the Western Conference. They sit number 11 right now. Not much chance of them coming back to regain that 10 spot without Durant. The Bucks in this game look to avoid an 0-3 homestand, which again would be horrendous. We'll see if Milwaukee can bounce back. This could be a Devin Booker step-up game. Without Kevin Durant in the lineup, you would expect Booker to be the guy for Phoenix. He had gone 4 straight without even scoring 20 points. But his last game, he did get up to 28. He hasn't shot the ball well at all from 3. He's been more of an assist guy than a scorer lately. We'll see if he can step up here. In the game I mentioned where they played 8 days ago, Phoenix wins by 2 at home on a Devin Booker buzzer beater. Less than 2 left. He wins the game 108-106. But Kevin Durant had 38 points in that game. Those 38 points are absent tonight. I don't think Phoenix has enough to get it done. So the free play for this game is going to be Milwaukee -6. On the way out, I'd like to ask everybody to hit the like button if you like the selections and analysis provided here by WagerTalk handicappers each and every day. Click like, click subscribe. Join the 197,000 plus people who have already subscribe to WagerTalk TV. If you have a comment on this game, Phoenix, Milwaukee, or the earlier mentioned Philadelphia, New York, please drop it in the comments section. Any NBA game tonight, go ahead and feel free to leave your opinions there. I try to get to those as soon as I can. For now, this is Rob Veno saying good luck with all your plays. We'll see you next time on WagerTalk TV.